Hello everybody, my name is Connor and we are here with Marco versus Red Purple Luffy. And this was a weird one. I wanted to talk about it. I had a good time with it, but this is a scary deck. So we end up going second. I'm not really sure. It's been a hot minute since I played Red Purple Luffy. Did I say black yellow? I think I did. Ignore me. Red Purple Luffy, the superior Luffy if you ask me. It's been a minute since I've played him, so we do end up going second, and I do end up leader abilitying, and I put Jozu at the bottom. I'm feeling like I have enough counter in my hand. I can do that. Yeah, this is fine. And we pass turn with the 6k swing. I go ahead and take. There's my King Do at the bottom of my life as per usual. And the Zoro comes out and he passes turn. We get our rush ace. I'm feeling pretty comfortable. I'm like, okay, we don't really have much to do, many options at this point, unfortunately. And then we end up doing our leader ability and getting not much, unfortunately. I don't have the ability to. I was really hoping to get something that could KO the Zoro, just get that out of the way. But we end up getting Pudding, which I think I actually put Pudding at the bottom, but towards the end of the match, yeah, I put Pudding at the bottom, and I do remember towards the end of the match that RP Luffy gets a good amount of cards in hand, so that's something I need to keep in mind. Definitely one of these decks that I want to build. I keep wanting to build, and I never get around to it, much like most Calgara. Although I think I am going to put Calgara together, and we might play some Calgara games, but I am finishing Pudding still. Anywho, I digress. So you can see I have a massive hand, and I'm feeling like I'm sitting pretty. He's asking how many cards I have in hand, and I tell him no big deal. I'm like, yeah, I got this many cards in hand. What of it, And then I forget about this monster. So that is Blocker Law, -1 Dawn, and you get to take 2 cards out of your opponent's hand. So I put them out for my boy here, and he takes that one and that one, and he gets 2 of my 2Ks, which is rough. I'm not really used to playing against hand destruction or somebody who can destruct my hand back, basically. So he ends up swinging with Zoro, and I'm trying to decide. He swings 5. I'm trying to decide to take it, and I definitely I screw this up. I'm like, okay, he's got a 6k. I'll save. I take this hit. I get Doflamingo. And then he attaches 7. I'm like, oh, why did I not think he was going to swing 7? Like, I don't know. So I go ahead and I pitch Dofi, and I'm hurting for counter. We get a Vista, so worst case scenario, at least I can pop Zoro. I mean, honestly, at this point, I think I'd rather pop Zoro with Marco. But at least our blocker Marco is online if we decide to go that route. We get another Vista off of our top deck, which is fine, and I put Ace there. I'm like, I can't play Ace this turn, but I want to keep Ace around if I can. And I want to see that rush Ace. Don't think I should get rid of him, but can't have him in my hand. I end up counting out my Dawn, and I think I'm tapping all 5 Dawn to, I feel like it's more valuable to drop the Marco to pop Zoro than dropping a Vista. It would allot me more Dawn, but I think, I don't know. I feel like having that bigger body on the board might help me, and he's a 6k body, which is important when you're playing against a 6k leader to have that 6k body. So yeah, we're kind of in a tough spot. We have the Fire Fist, we have the Newgate, and we have 3k counter in hand. That law really doing a number to us, which is honestly, like, I'm gonna remember that law when I'm playing against Red Purple Luffy, especially because he's just gonna get better with the new set. I'm I'm gonna have to build him. I'm gonna have to try him at this point. He's been one of those leaders, as I mentioned, I wanted to try for a long time, but the 3 life is very scary. And my opponent is a incredibly talented player, so he ends up swinging the 6 at me, and I have to counter out with 2 vistas. Just honestly, he's applying a lot of pressure, and since Law took those two 2Ks, I don't have counter, and we end up taking the hit from Luffy, getting a 9 cost Law, Nami swinging in hot, and I have to take it. We get a 2K, King Do, he's always in my life, love that for me, and at this point, I'm like, I am in a bad situation, I'm in a bad spot. That Law hurt my feelings. I do have Rush Ace, so I can clear board, but I don't have, depending on what I get off of the Marco, I don't think I have enough to, I don't see a way out of this. And then we get a Newgate off the top, so yep, definitely putting that down, don't need that. We go ahead and minus the Law, thinking just making them both as small as possible. And I'm really thinking, you can tell because my hand is way up in my face, I swing the 6 at Nami, just getting that body off board. Doesn't feel great to swing that 6, but I know I feel like I have to at this point. And I am thinking about playing Fire Fist to clear the so I end up playing Fire Fist to clear the Law, which I don't hate at all. I think I was thinking about the Rush Ace. I swing 7 at Lee, trying to get a card out of his hand. Really wish I still had Pudding at this point. He just gives me the 2K, and I drop the blocker Marco. Passing turn. Honestly, very little hope at this point, and if you can see, the video is not much longer, so yeah, this was a really rough one, but I did want to showcase it. I have 2K counter in my hand, and he ends up having the Rayleigh, pops my Marco, and that's it. I'm bricked. So not a bad. I think we got pretty unlucky with some of our draws, and honestly, that Law hurts so bad. I really wasn't expecting it. I feel like that Law has kind of gone out of play, and so I kind of forgot about it. So really learned my lesson there, but I thought this was going to be a fun one to show, even though it is super short. Just show how powerful that Law is. I love that blocker Law, I always have. And yeah, I just think it's a really good card, and it definitely ruined my day here. So if you guys like this video, hit that like button down below. It helps me out more than you can ever know. Go ahead and subscribe if you are new, and I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.